when you speak about national ownership as a precondition for successful reform of the justice and security sector, of course, civil society at large is really important as a key actor. Because if you have the concept of human security, it means that it's not a state issue, state thing, it's really about participation. And if you want to engage civil society, of course, you need to see that the process of reform itself is transparent. So working on projects or programs or being a donor funding, you really need to stress the issue about transparency, because that's a precondition for engagement of civil society. If you speak more about NGOs and not civil society at large, of course NGOs have a really important role to play. Usually it's been about accountability, to see what are there abuses. Is the police abusing people they arrest? Is there torture? Is there not a transparent judicial process? Is there corruption involved and so on? So I think civil society usually is reporting on that, and we know that is also what the large NGOs, global NGOs are doing. And I think civil society or NGOs are really good at that. What we've seen a change in many countries, and we've seen it in Honduras in an impressive way, is that aside from the human rights NGOs engaging in reporting abuses and highlighting what needs to be changed, we also see a growing number of NGOs that engage in also making proposals of how those changes can come about. And if you reflect on the fragility of many states and the fragility of the justice and security sector, civil society and NGOs can really make a contribution to propose better legislation, more participatory process, a different way of policing. They can bring in experience. So you can really see, if not an alliance, you can see a partnership between NGOs and governments. However, there you come also to one of the difficulties, because civil society and NGOs also have the role of looking at accountability. And those roles are sometimes very difficult to combine, and maybe you don't have to do that. You can see that some actors in civil society can be harsh and tough on abuses, while others can play a role of not being critical, but they can work more on making proposals. You can kind of have a division of labor in civil society, and that we see come about more and more. In Honduras, it's an obvious case, but we've seen it in many other countries too. However, precondition for that is that civil society also needs to increase its knowledge. I mean, at large, you need to have the citizens engaged, the citizen demanding an improvement of accountability and effectiveness of the sector. But those expert NGOs, national expert NGOs, that can be really key. They also need to learn more about transparent and effective police reform, how you can foment a holistic approach so the whole justice chain works. So it's not that you have an increased effectiveness of police, but you fail when it comes to prosecutors or the judges. And then a precondition and a very possible way to go in programming is to see that you build those NGOs' capacity. But you can also build the capacity of civil society and citizens at large to be proactive and participate in the debate, which is really important, as justice and security sector reform is about political change.